So right now is not the time for that.
Good evening, everyone. Here we are, finally. I apologize for your action plan for starting a nonprofit. Miss Megan Pater and myself, we will head on into Lesko Help 2, and then I'm going to hand the reins over to Megan for the most part. We're planning on showing a little video that we did before so that we could get everything done without any questions, watch it together, and then take your questions. So please, Miss Megan, it is all your show. We'll start it when you're ready to begin it.
I'm pulling it up right now. Give me 1 second. I'm pulling up the checklist as well. Are you going to have the checklist on your screen, or are we sharing your screen, right?
We can actually go there. I would rather have control of the video portion for what we're doing because of the fact that we weren't able to hide the private information. Otherwise, I would totally be down. Here is the checklist. So we have that up as well. And then is there anything else that you'd like for me to make sure I have together before we start?
No, just you have the video ready to go, right?
Yeah, it is right here.
Perfect. So, sure. I feel like we should start with the video since we started the video going through all this too, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, I definitely want to start with the video. I just didn't know if you wanted to say anything before we began.
Oh yeah, no. I want well, I do. Hi. Let me try that again. No, I think that we did a good job with the video, so that's why I wanted to use that. But there are steps to doing a nonprofit correctly and setting it up correctly, and to not go through all the horrible mishaps that you could possibly go through by doing it improperly or backwards, the way I did mine. So I learned the hard way. I'm trying to help everybody not make the same mistakes. So we are going through this step by step just so that doesn't happen again.
All right, and now I should start?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if I can make this go full screen. Looks like I should be able to. Interesting. All right. I'll move this off to the side here. If someone has questions as the video goes, please go ahead and unmute yourselves. We'll pause the video and answer your questions so that we can all be on the exact same page as the question occurs. All right? Does anybody have any questions about unmuting themselves? If you do, please put it in the chat. If you can find the chat, you should be able to find the microphone. I just want to make sure everybody is ready and we will begin.
No questions.
I'm sorry, Jesse?
Oh, I just said no questions.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Here we go, everyone.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, I'm gonna make you
try and tell me no. I'm just kidding.
Okay. All right, so we gotta be in. Let me just share my screen so that I'm where we want to be. We lost the regular recording, guys. I think we can make it so we can both share our screen if we need to.
Can't hear any sound.
I can't hear anything either. I can't hear you either.
And then I just muted myself. Okay, so somebody was talking. I apologize. Megan, I heard you. And did somebody else say something as well? You can move
We
it back
can't hear
over.
anything. We can't hear anything.
Oh, if I mute it, you guys can't hear it. That's right. I apologize. My fault. Should I? Well, we don't need to see all of this again, really, do we? We're probably needing to go to where we start. Oh, I don't know. Okay, we're about
Go through the transcript. It's
right here. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
And just click on it and it'll go to it. Those are questions.
Okay, are
I'm
we
trying
ready?
to click on your screen. Oh my gosh, wow.
Okay, you ready? I think this is it. Okay, there we go. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I'm waiting for you to be still because you're in my main view. I don't know which view it'll be. For a second, and then I don't really care, right? But whatever one of us it picks to show. Okay, here we go. Just like over there doing all this stuff. Like, wait. I'm like, yeah. Okay, here we go. I cannot. I have to move. Oh, it doesn't say the recording. Let me stop and start again because it doesn't say it because yours is already recording. So I was waiting for it to tell me. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna start. Okay. See, I did push record. All right, we should be good to go. Hello, everyone. We are here to start working the checklist for setting up a nonprofit. So exciting. Let's head over into Lesko Help You. We wanted to just dive right in. So we already have this pulled up as we'll talk about how to get in and do all of this when we're watching this recording with you guys in an actual class setting. All right, so action plan for your nonprofit, a step-by-step guide. This is something that Megan pulled from her head and I put together and gave to Julia May and she prettied up for us. So it's a really nice little document. And we're going to walk through step one. And then Megan, please explain why we're going to do this, and then we'll head on in. Well, we want to do this because a lot of times there's another like, for instance, for my foundation, had it been a nonprofit, I did not do this, and it could have been an issue because there was a lot of foundations out there. I had to put the hyphen in mine, and I did not know that ahead of time, so it was just drama. But yeah, if it's a nonprofit, you really want to make sure that one, when you search your name, nothing bad comes up in Google about any other company that's similar or like yours or anything like that. And then you also want to make sure you're not infringing on somebody's trademark or patent information because that would end up in a lawsuit and then you still lose the name anyway. So may as well not do it in the first place. All right. And so starting off, let's go to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. And when we're here, we're setting up the nonprofit element of collectively rewilding. So we're going to use that as our example many times. Type in whatever you're researching and hit enter. It's that hard, right? Not a very difficult step there. Let's put this down here. All right. So I want to pause it right here for just a second. I did work with my SCORE mentor and I walked him through this process after Megan and I had done it. And he added some filters and things over here in the side panel. And it really changed the definition of the search. And it was still a really good search. We were even looking at the initial CR. He made me take it a lot farther than we actually took it. So I would love to try that again, perhaps later tonight or on another class, because it was really interesting to the different layers that you could add. And now I'm going to start it again.
Yeah, I like that too.
Somebody has, okay, great. Thank you, Megan. Any kind of proprietary rights to this name. Is that correct, Megan? Yeah, you can go to the search for patent button and like you can search like specifically each one just to make sure. There you go. Okay, and so you look right here again, right? Yeah. That's if you wanted to look at one up. Like you can search it, you can just put your name and see what would come up. But usually it's a number that they give you. Oh, okay. It won't fit. That's as far as I can get it. So that won't work for this particular search. Let's go back and try. It says search for trademark then, right?
Yep.
Search for trademark.
And then copyright.
And it did let me type everything in there. And so I think I did this initially with my SBDC mentor because I remember these looking exactly like this. So he did have me walk through this. I had walked through it in a number of ways, but I did it just to double check before we came in. And as you see, both are popular words, but I have no direct competition for my title. Okay, so then coming back, searching the Copyright Office. And I don't believe that I did all of this. So I know I didn't do the first one because I wasn't stopped by a character count ever. And it looks like I won't be here either. And so now that's where we want to search and hit enter. Is that right? Okay. Click and enter there. It's thinking. Hopefully it's not Zoom messing with my internet again.
Why am I trying to move your screen?
I know, it's so frustrating, right? Okay, so, oh, there we go. That's not good though. That means what to me? Is this what it says?
This means timeout.
Okay, I see it. Yep, error right there. Let's try again. And then it's maybe Zoom that was glitching out in my last class, and that's not a lot of fun. Let's actually do this. Let's start over and try it again. And we have to leave it as an example of how one would go about it without showing the conclusion. This is obviously a pretty easy process when one's internet is working right. And Zoom has been just causing some really weird issues from last night into today. So we'll leave that there. Maybe it'll pull it up, but it's probably not going to. However, it's right there for you. You come in, you click this link, it's going to pull this up. Let's actually refresh the screen by doing it again. We'll pull it up just so you see the home page. You just type in what you're searching here, hit the search, hit enter. It's going to pull that up. And again, we got this error. It could be that they're undergoing changes. Some of these websites themselves with the administration change are changing and you'll get some error pages. All right. We just have to try again later. All right. So we're done here. Is that right, Megan? All right. So now we're going to just use this as a Google search. So type in Google. And again, I'll type in the name that we're looking for. And so this is the actual Mighty Network homepage, Collectively Rewilding. It's showing at the top. This is our content creators website, again here. And then you're going to see this underneath our Facebook page, Collective Rewilding. This was the closest competitor that I had. They didn't show up in the searches within what we were able to within the patent office. So I don't believe that they've even done this step for that. I don't think they've taken it to that level. And they're a weird laboratory thing. So it was the exact opposite of what we're doing. I love the name, so I went ahead with it anyway. And as you see now, I believe even in an incognito search, let me just pull that up. This is the kind of thing that you have to worry about. And somebody that wasn't as set on a name may choose to change it so they don't ever have to compete with those algorithms. But let's just search it in, it can't be incognito. Let's pull up one where I wouldn't have used it. Let's go to this one here. And we'll search for what fresh search engine pulls up. And again, it's going to pull up the Collectively Rewilding material. Initially, for the first year up to maybe the first 2 years, I was battling with this Collective Rewilding lab. So it's definitely something that you want to do and make note of. I was aware, I did take this step. I knew this was out there. I chose to go ahead anyway. And that's something we all have to choose as we're setting up our own individual profit, for-profit or nonprofit businesses, right? All right. Sorry, Megan. Excuse me. not going to take, was there another step you wanted to do with this, or just, we covered all of that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so will just be a class.
Yes, this is going to be a whole different class, but can you just explain the most basic overview of what this is so they understand what we'll be talking about in that class?
Yep. You can put, so in our, we all have tag or know what tags are when you're like adding stuff. When you're looking for things on the internet, you can add like, you look for like soap or whatever, and that's the tag, some type of that tag. So like if you are doing that with your nonprofit or your business and you have numerous little keywords in your like homepage, that will raise your visibility on the internet. So your search engine optimization, which is SEO, is important because it raises you up in visibility, and it'll start recommending things to people who don't normally look for your stuff. And that way you get out there to more people, and new people will start seeing your content and your page instead of what they would normally see. So you want to have as much SEO friendly content as possible, and the way to do that is by using these searches. But it's a little bit more than that, but yeah, that's about it.
That's why it deserves its own lesson. It is important. This is the order that Megan designed for where she feels we should concentrate as we're walking through this process. However, because it does deserve its entire own lesson, we're going to walk through the first, third, and maybe some of the fourth step with you guys. Then we'll come back and we'll work on step 2 exclusively for an entire lesson. All right. So next, we're going to secure a business address. And again, I'll leave it in your shoes so you can walk through what we're doing and why.
Okay, so we want to have, most nonprofits start, they don't have a building, they don't have an address really. So we want to have a virtual address to be able to get our mail. One, it makes it easier because they can also send mail. It's not going to your home. People aren't going to show up at your house. You don't want your house information on any information. So, because that one is dangerous, especially if you're doing something controversial, like you're working with, victims of domestic violence and stuff like that. You do not want your house information on there. So it's imperative that you get an actual address mailbox. The only thing is you need to make sure that you have it goes to an actual building that isn't like a U-Haul or a post office box. It can't look like a mailbox because SAM.gov will then deny you your registration there. So it's a little bit tricky, but it's these 3 people or 3 companies actually do a really good job, and they know that that's what's going on. So they have a lot of options. Anytime mailbox is what I use, and I actually had to look at it, get the address, go to Google Maps, check out Google Maps, see what kind of building it was in. It was in an office building, and so then I went ahead and secured that mailbox. But there was a few that were like in U-Haul, like storage unit stuff, and that's fine, but it's not what we need. So you can also do a virtual office, which is like where you actually could meet for office space. Yeah, and it's a little bit more expensive, but anytime mailbox, I think I pay $18 a month, if that. And then they also scan all my mail and send it to me, so I never have to go and pick it up unless it's like a card or something.
So, but when you're going to pick it up, they're going to pick a location that's near you then? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're going to pick stuff up. But they can also mail it to me. So if there's stuff that because now I moved away and I still have the same mailbox. So now they just mail me my mail, or they'll scan whatever I don't need to actually physically have. So.
Wonderful. And what about Visit iPostal? Just because
they're a competition with Anytime Mailbox. They're good too.
So they're not what Visit Regis with this virtual office. They're more of a competitor for the first option, but Regis also provides this virtual mailbox. I guess it's not exactly a virtual mailbox. It's a connection to a physical mailbox that you don't have physically.
Sure.
Right. Okay. So we're going to jump into Visit Anytime Mailbox and secure a physical location for the nonprofit for collectively rewilding. All right. So please, what do I do here? So maybe just put the zip code for my area.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's not far. It's a highway though, so I don't think that's what we're looking for, right?
Well, no, it depends on what the building is. So like look up that, so we just pick that address, look it up on Google Maps, and then just or like Google Earth or whatever, where you actually see the building,
Oh,
and
okay.
that way you can tell.
Okay, so let's do that. Google Earth.
It is Google Earth, right? Is Google Earth the right one? Or Google Maps? I can't remember.
Well, Google Earth lets you look at it physically.
Okay.
Google Maps gets you there and to some
Okay.
degree will verify the address. I would guess. Okay, so that's good. I always like to do things like that. So now let's go back and see if we. Okay. Let me put the bottom again. No. I don't need this. So how do I get out of that?
Get started, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I've been here before though.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Interesting. It's not like it used to be. Definitely things are changing at rapid paces these days. Okay, so here we go. Boom, and it's going to come in. So it looks like maybe what you were talking about there before was a storage type of a place.
Yep. So let's see if we can see the street view of it, like in front of it.
Oh, you used to be able to.
Right.
Well, let's go and look at this one over here on the side. It looks like that'll be easier. I mean, it does kind of look like they're buildings where people go in instead of maybe storage. Let's see. Okay, so can I click out of this?
Yeah, but if it's like if it says like you know, today's mail or something like that, it says dot operating authority.
Where do you see that?
Right here. I pointed to the screen like you could see my finger. And on that same building that it was on. Why can't we do street view? Let's see what I can find.
3D maybe? There you go. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. That I would not do that unless it's I don't know, we need to see the actual thing. I wonder why it's doing
kind of
that.
like storefronts, but if I put the person on the ground.
Oh yeah, go ahead line.
Here we go.
Hey now. Okay. Yeah, no. See how it says post net? We don't want that.
Okay. Now it's just difficult with all the different extra.
Sorry.
No, it's great. I just have to move things around so that we can see all the things that need to get seen, right? So then we go down further. Now we're going to go back. Here. And we hit 3D. And then person. Oh, I can't go in front of it the same way, but here's herbs and health. I can see that. It's not gonna, the blue lines are where you can walk. It's like
That's fine. So let's see on that blue line because I'll probably show the building.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's that.
That one might work. Let me see. Oh, stupid truck's in the way.
I know, huh? I can't read herbs and health. Okay. Let me see if that'll work. Over here. Okay, so that's great. Smart something. And then we can't see the one behind there. Client. Smart resources. Smart.
If you go to the side street, you can see it.
Okay. Herbs and health. Something here.
It looks promising. It doesn't look like a post office box.
Let's back out of it. Can you just click over here now like that?
No, you got all the little arrows. There you go.
Okay.
It's so creepy. Okay, we can see it right there.
Affordable something. Plus. Affordable mattresses.
Oh.
And then what?
We can't see. That's awesome. Wow.
Keller and Company or Kelly and Company and distilled water. I can't tell what it says right here.
And I don't see anything on there on the marquee either.
Yeah, it just has their name again. The bigger
Wait,
part.
go up one more. Can you see it anymore? Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I see. I don't know. I would just find a different one, maybe. I don't know. I'd be scared to go with that one.
yeah, I'd rather be a little more confident with Sally. Okay.
This is like a little bit tedious, but I'm telling you, it makes a world of difference when you can actually not have to worry about SAM.gov and not worry about people showing up.
Basically, what it comes down to is how much work are you going to put into your effort, If you want to do it right, not do it quick. You don't want to take forever either, of course, but you want to do it right, not quick. Okay, so this looks less promising. Here, it almost looks like, well, why isn't it doing anything? Did I click the wrong one?
You want to click the little person number.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, here it's nice again. It's going to take us down here. I go over here. Yeah, that looks like more like shipping kind of a district. Maybe. It looks like all these places are like shipping or distribution. So how do I, oh, here we go. Okay, I found the arrow.
But which one was it? Which way was it? Was the actual?
It doesn't tell me which here. How do you, I was just gonna look at like the area to see if there were any like shipping places there, something that none of these even have addresses or like have signs.
That's not a bad thing.
Huh?
That's not a bad thing. Except that they look scary, like they wouldn't really have your mail.
Pack and ship.
Package, yep, no.
Okay. Draper. I also think my internet was really bad that day, whether it was Zoom or my internet. I'm really hoping it isn't actually this bad all of the time, everyone. It was horrible. It's horrible watching it again. Here's the... Okay.
It's fine.
That's wild, huh? That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, look at this one. Robin, Postnet. Okay.
I wonder if there's a filter that you put on the anytime mailbox, like at the top.
I don't see one.
Let's look at solutions and locations. Like if there's a drop down for locations, yeah. Mail forwarding, small business, shop by use cases.
Shop by use cases.
Virtual business address. Maybe. That's a little bit more expensive, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a big jump. Okay.
Right? But, your little person needs to.
That it's not a mail place, but then there's things over here. Let me go back out. Okay, there we go. That's better. Physical fitness type of a thing over there. Something. Quality products. That's super generic. State of Utah something. Oh, it didn't let me raise it up this time. Okay, Forever Quilting, Nature's Best, Nails, it looks like. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Nature's Grocer, QTC or something like that. Comedy, this one. That one, that's as big as I can make it. I can make it closer. So like this. Simply Nutrition, Prima. I can't get any closer this way, I don't think. That nothing like struck me as horrible. Okay, so let's do the search on regular map because that gives you different information. We'll search the address here and maybe it'll tell us what the business is, right? So, okay. Almost a lot more promising than the others. So doing this, edit. So this doesn't want to tell me what the business is though. So does that matter then, or is that kind of a good thing?
So I mean, if it's probably not much of a hard time finding it, that means able to, you know?
So record nations, like these are things we couldn't read that we didn't see, right? There's at this place, there's Cruise Planners, Wild Rose Boutique, Blue Ball Industries, and record nations. So those are worse than anything that we already saw there. So would you be more confident of this one?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I like that one better. Right? This is the front of it. Oh, it's the front of that one. Okay. I'm looking on the website right now, and just to see what else if I could find something different. There's one that says the 2,500 real street addresses. Transparent pricing. No, sure. Okay. No, that's not anything. Yeah, I think that would be the best one, and you can always change it if it doesn't work, you know. But I mean, at least doing your diligence and like. But the thing is, if you change it, you're going to sign up for all your things with this address. So kind of, you might want to have this in the mail. I've changed
addresses a million times in life. I know how to do that. It's not a problem for me to do that as a nonprofit. I'm not super scared of that.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a good address going forward. Okay. So now, let me go. So we did that. So now I just get this address. I select this plan. Okay. Okay. So let me just stop the share really quick. So you're going to cover this up after we record it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We were never able to figure that out, so we're going to listen. Okay, I just put the lowest possible option, open and scan. Each shipping bundle is $5. One, that's great. 30 incoming mail. If I start getting off the mail, then I would have to increase, but that would be a great reason, and then I should be hopefully getting the income to back up increases. So
exactly. And then don't forget everything you're spending right now. If when you're keeping your receipts, you're also going to put those in your bylaws to make sure that you as an entity gets paid back out of the nonprofit. So
then I just need to select. So I picked one for $11.99 a month, guys. Oh, it says mailbox. Does that matter?
Yeah, you can click down. I'm trying to click your screen. Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't matter if it'll say unit on the thing.
Okay. So I just pick the one I want out of this, basically. I like this one better. Okay, so 252. So of course, this is one of those things where we talk about tracking. In fact, I'm going to start a whole new notebook specifically for. I was just looking at this today, thinking, "Gosh, I wonder if I'm ever going to find a place for that notebook."
Of course, you will.
Let's start something quite some time ago with the out and make this all about this whole class, this whole process, and the nonprofit. Okay, so we have. So this is going to say unit, right? So let's wait. I'll put the whole thing in, and then it should give me a more official something. No, this I want to say collectively rewilding, right? Would it be like collectively?
You want to put that under your company name. This is just going to be your name. So
use my middle name with everything. So I'm gonna put that. And then I don't want it to say LLC, and that's okay, right? Or does it need to be the LLC?
Nope, it doesn't need to be. This is even optional, so.
But I have to fill out all of these pieces, yes?
Yep.
And so,
What happened?
so I want to use my email because we haven't set up the email yet. And it's asking for an email.
But put any email that can't be taken away, one that you don't purchase, like Yahoo or Gmail, something that you don't have to pay for, so that way you know it's never going to go away.
And then again, I haven't gotten the business phone number, so this is going to be my phone number.
Right, you can update these anytime.
Okay. Okay. Make sure you're always writing down any passwords. Okay. Email. All right, and then I've got to go grab the verification code. So now I have to go to my email to get the verification code that they sent to the email that I provided. Here we are. Okay. We've got everything set up here. Just make sure everything is spelled correctly. I just had to deal with this in my Utah state tax account, taking care of all that, guys. I didn't double check thoroughly enough. I do think a lot of times, like now, late at night, and you can make mistakes. Make sure you double, triple, thoroughly check things.
Very much so.
Okay, and so this is now when I want to make sure that I write down all of these pieces. They're all looking right so far. And I'm going to write down the actual address that I will be having for my business purposes as the nonprofit.
And for stuff like this, I usually take a screenshot. Like,
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
And then I put it into a folder named, whatever.
Okay.
Well, I don't know what I think mine. I think it's called folder right now.
Well, we've talked about that many times, right? Steps come as they, we're all so busy. It's so hard.
Well, at least it doesn't say untitled folder. At least I took the time to take that out.
I guess so. As long as you know which one it is, then you're doing well. Okay. And so everything looks here. That's the membership I'm wanting. Again, I'm gonna just double check all spelling and everything here. And then, all right. So I am gonna stop my share for just 2 seconds to go through this, just to double verify on that part and put this in. Which is so great because this is getting ready to expire. So when we're talking about changing things, I will be having to change this in like a month. Yay. I should have just gone and gotten a new one. I think you could probably do that so that I up the ante, but I'm just so busy. I don't want to make it any quicker. Oh my goodness. All right. Great. And activate my posted group. Oh, I didn't see that field. Okay. Activate mailbox and let's go ahead and share again. Ta-da, your digital mailbox. And then I didn't screenshot it like you suggested because I'm an idiot. Even lots of free Yelp page. I don't see why we wouldn't do that, right? It's free and people.
Yeah, you definitely want to do. You want to list yourself on 411. You want to do all that stuff.
Okay, so list on 411. That needs to be something added to our best to view. It sounds like.
Oh yeah.
Add to 411, and that's not like 411 like on your phone, like 211 or 911, isn't it?
No, it's actually list yourself on 411. I think.
List yourself on. Okay. And so I'm going to claim this page for Yelp. That's fabulous. Okay, so now we just need to go about doing this again. Now, this is my name, not, what is it called again, Megan? I don't think I wrote that down in my notes anywhere. Are you there at your device?
I was trying to mute. Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're great.
What'd you say? What did you missing? What are you
The
missing?
list for 411, list yourself for something.
Yeah, it's list yourself for 411 on 401. Here, I can give you the link for it. I have it.
List yourself on 411. And I might have it written down somewhere else, but it's not here where I could think to go get it. So it's there now. And we will add that to the list. Okay. Collectively Rewilding?
That.
I would put.
Oh no, it was you there. Okay.
Do you have an account with Yelp already? Because I would just sign it. Okay. Yeah, I would just make it the collectively Rewilding.
Okay.
But I really don't know. I've not done that.
Oh, okay. Well, I would rather make sure that this name is what I want it to be instead of my name, right? So that's probably safer. Okay. Link. Okay. And so again, make sure you're writing down those things as you're setting them up, folks, so that you can get back to them. Boom, claim my free page. And so, let's see. Let me just.
That's fairly easy.
Yeah, should we just do it then? Okay.
Yeah, that was fairly easy. That was really harder than that. What did you just do?
Me? Your cat?
Oh, yeah, I ran over him. I didn't realize I moved the chair. I didn't realize he was underneath me.
Okay, so that's a way to get the business phone number, it looks like. See? So I'll hold this page so that we can do that. Now we've done this, and so this has been, and I'm not interested in this, so no thanks. You've unlocked, no thanks, no thanks. So we're good. Okay, so this is all here. We have that all set up, and let me just write the full name of the company. I had mailbox, but right anytime. So now I can get in, and so now let's set up your phone. Is that where I'm going to set it up?
You could, yeah, but I mean that costs money. I would do it with Google Workspace.
Right. That's right. You were telling me that. Okay, so we've done this check mark. So as a process, when you guys are walking through that, it has taken us. Let's just stop the share. Let me see if I can see how long we've been class. Is there some way to check that in here? Do you know?
Yeah, there's a timer on. I'll show you.
Yeah. I said I'm the student here, guys.
Oh, that's fine. The timer is doesn't just timer everything. It just no, there's not.
Okay, so I think that we've probably been going for around 40 minutes. That's my guess. Okay. When you're watching this as a recording, for those of you who watch it as a recording, oh well, by the time we come into our class, we'll be able to tell them. Okay, so this is how long it took. Okay, great. So we'll have that then. But we've done step 1. We talked a little bit about step 2, and that'll be our next class. We've done step 3. Now we're looking at buying a domain and creating your website. And I think that that's enough of a step that if it's been about 40 minutes, we probably ought to call it and make that next step. Instead of step 2, we'll do this as a class, and then we'll come back to step 2. Does that sound like a good idea, Megan?
Yes, it does.
Because we'll want to watch this with everybody, so we want to leave time for the questions at the end. All right. Well, thank you so much, Megan. I really appreciate all of the help that you've given us, myself included, and this is really exciting. And I look forward to working with you again soon so that we can set up our next stage.
Thanks. Yes, this is great. I like how we're doing this.
I really appreciate it. Did you want to say anything while we close out?
Nope, I think I'm good. I'm kind of expecting it.
It's so funny, guys, when you're watching us do these things and things like that happen, it really just almost shuts your brain down because you had a plan and you don't have you want to follow that plan while you're in this environment, and when it goes away,
mind.
All right, well, thank you all, and we will see you back with questions. All right.
That wasn't that bad.
You again, does everybody else want to take a little break? I would like to take a little break. That is very hard to watch myself. I don't ever do that. I don't know if you do that. I don't do that.
I can't watch myself ever. But when I go to edit my videos and have to put it on YouTube, let me tell you, I have Opus Clips do it and just hope for the best.
Yes.
Because I can't do it.
Okay, so I need a break. If that's okay with you, Miss Megan, do you need a break?
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I can take a break.
Okay, so then let's see what the time is. 9:50 for my time, 8:50 for your time. So that would be 8:50 for Pacific, 9:50 for Mountain, 10:50 for Central, and 11:50 for Eastern. And we will come back on the hour wherever you are. So 9 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock p.m. Mountain, 11 o'clock p.m. Central, or wait, no, that's not enough time. Let's do my normal. I was just not thinking, like I said, when you don't have a plan, it gets a little wonky. So let's do a full 15 minutes and we'll come back at 10 minutes after the hour, wherever you are. So that will be 9:10 p.m. Pacific, 10:10 p.m. Mountain, 11:10 p.m. Central, and 12 p.m. Eastern. Yes, that is correct. As I said in the video that we all just had to bear through, that it gets really difficult as you go through your day and you wind down in the evening and then try to do all these things. It can be a little bit difficult, but yes, in a 15-minute window, it will be 10 after the hour wherever you are, and we will be back. Please feel free to speak amongst yourselves. I don't know that we have anybody here. Benny would be wonderful. Oh, Miss Danielle, oh my goodness, you joined us. Oh, this is so wonderful. We have not heard from you in so long. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm all right. Thank you for inviting me again.
Of course. Oh my goodness. Miss Ethel and I, actually, we were trying to recall, we could picture your face. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't remember her name. Ethel searched through the names. I don't even know how long. And she found you. And I was like, that's it. That's who I've been talking about. And I was so excited. And then you showed up in my inbox. I was just over the moon. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, we will be back at 10 after the hour, wherever you are. And like I said, please feel free to speak amongst yourselves. I think that I'll stop my share here. We can come back in to look at that if anybody has questions about that nonprofit list. And so good to see you, Miss Danielle, and everyone here. Thank you, and we will be right back. I'm going to have to explicitly ask Tammy to join us for these so that she can handle that in-between moment. It's so painful in the silence. So how is everybody doing while we wait? I can't just stare at a blank screen and let you guys sit in silence. Does anybody have anything that they're doing that they'd like to talk about, or anything not really to the topic, right? We want to wait until Megan's ready for that. She's still got 5 minutes. We want to make sure that she's here to answer the questions because I, like you all, am here to listen to her expertise. And so anything at all that you have going on that you want to share? Anyone? I'm finally getting to start weaning off my plants from the constant watering, keeping the seedlings wet. I'm so glad. Trying to keep up with our schedule here, and Let's Go Help too, and keep, oops, excuse me, don't think you guys can see that, but, and keep up with our schedule here, and Let's Go Help too has been quite the challenge. I'm really excited about moving Collectively Rewilding into a nonprofit element. I don't know what I'm doing really at all. It's been kind of interesting because I really trust Miss Megan, and I also really trust my SBDC counselor. However, I know that his expertise does not lie in nonprofits. And I'll just share my screen for this because it's a little bit interesting, at least to me. And Megan is very, very, how shall we say it? It's almost strident, but it's very nice. So it's not strident, but she's very firm in registering your nonprofit with your state before you get your EIN, because it has kept her from some grant opportunities as her nonprofit. And I believe 1 or 2 that she helped to set up before understanding that this could be a problem. And that has been the generic advice I have gotten over and over and over and over again. And that was the advice that Jess Clifford, my current SBDC Small Business Development Center mentor, also recommended. And so I went over this list, and then I thought, you know what? This is something that, oh no, I shared it with him as I'm keeping him, not right now, no toys right now. I'm keeping him in the loop. I believe we have 1 more meeting, and then we're going to take a small break, and I'm going to try to establish a mentor through the Utah Women's Business Center, as I've always wanted to have a female business mentor as well. I had one for just a second during my beginnings with Matthew, my beginnings with Let's Go Help as a community, and my beginnings in the grant hunting world, starting a business beyond the daycares that I had started successfully and run very unofficially, all legally. You can have an unlicensed daycare up to a certain number in both the states of Wyoming and Colorado. You let the state know that you're doing it. You use your social security number so that your parents can get their breaks for their taxes and things like that. So it's all officially unofficial. And that was the level of business that I had run previously. Then I began working with Matthew after joining Let's Go Help community and already benefiting through grant-like opportunities, because that was during the beginning of all the lockdowns, and I got rental assistance and started beginning to try all the different things. I got unclaimed money. I've lost track of all the successes I've had, and those were my beginning successes. So those are what I can remember in the moment of what it very first began with, right? And Megan, if you come back and you're ready to move forward, I'm just kind of talking about the process in general. This was a big deal to me, however, to get back to where we are. And everyone I had ever spoken with had said, register for your EIN before registering with your state. Now, when I emailed this to Jess, he pointed that out and he said, this should really be switched. And I told him, look, I cannot say the words. Megan has talked to me about this more than once, and I understand it when she's saying it, but I don't understand it well enough to tell you secondhand. So please let me talk to Megan about this so that I have the words to argue on her behalf against following your set of steps. And so I got with Megan, and she gave me the exact website. And this is the portion that's a bigger website than this, right? There's information up here, and we'll share that as well as the piece that Megan put in the chat. And let me just actually copy that there from the chat, and I'll put this all into a little document for us. And that's listyourself.net that we've already talked about. And then this page here that explains the process of whether you register with the state first or you register your EIN first. And this is directly on the IRS website. And here is the piece that matters for this discussion. When to get an EIN. If you are forming a legal entity, and it parenthetically describes some of those entities that you may be forming, an LLC, partnership, corporation, or tax-exempt organization. That, in my understanding of the English language, and I don't really talk about it a lot, but I have a very high set of scores in regards to the English language. I fail abysmally on the same type of scoring processes with math, as is quite typical. So I understand the English language. And so these words to me tell me that whether you are forming a for-profit or a nonprofit business, you need to go through, form your entity through your state before, and they're bolding this, form your entity through your state before you apply for an EIN. If you don't form your entity with your state first, your EIN application may be delayed. And in addition to that, Megan has been barred from certain grant and grant-like opportunities as a nonprofit. This is a big, big, big deal, Skittles, when it comes to a nonprofit. I did this incorrectly when I filed for the EIN for both of my for-profit businesses that were beyond the daycare, right? My daycare never had an EIN, neither of them. This is not this process that I followed. I got my EIN, then I contacted my state. I wasn't in a rush to get my EIN, so it really didn't affect me and has not affected me to this point. I don't know that it would not at some point cause problems for a for-profit business. I have not come across any yet. However, it still could delay your EIN application, approval, acceptance, whatever their terminology would be, right? So this is a big, big deal thing. And I was really uncomfortable having to pick between an SBDC mentor and Megan Pater, who I absolutely respect, both of these people. So I sent this to him. And at first he's like, you know, you can do whatever you want, but this is still what I'm telling you. And then I'm like, wait, I forgot to send you the link. Let me send you the link and let me give you a little bit of background about my understanding of the English language. And that this is my interpretation is in agreement with Megan, unless there's some legal type of definition that is different from the traditional usage of these words, basically. So he looked at it again, he ended up agreeing, and that made me feel so good because I didn't have to pick between their advice. He saw what Megan was wanting us to see, and then he looked at it a little more, thought about it a little more, and realized that these words are telling us we should contact our state before we get our EIN, okay? And we haven't gotten to that in our list yet. That will be a further step down the line. However, it was just something that came up, and I just thought that that was kind of interesting. Megan, are you back with us?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. There was a dog in the middle of the street. I was trying to get it.
Oh, did you get it, or did it not get hit?
No, I gave it some ham and some water, and it ran off, but it almost ran right into a semi. So.
Oh my God. Okay. Only so much that DMS can do. Okay, so did you get to hear any of that? It was kind of.
Yeah, I heard the very end of it.
Oh well, he agrees with you now, but it took several emails back and forth before we arrived at that point. All right. Oh, that's great, I don't know what I just did, but that was awesome. Oh, what happened? Why did it do that? And why can't I make it now go back? Oh, I don't know if I like this new layout in any way at all. It's like very almost traumatizing. Go ahead and take over, and I will play with this in the background, Megan. Thank you, my dear.
Wait, what are we doing? I'm sorry, where are we?
I apologize. That was my bad as well. Please, folks, if you have any questions, this is going to be the moment to ask them, and we have a small audience, so you can kind of just unmute yourselves and ask your questions. Benny does have to share with us that his SCORE business mentor has been helping him work on a business plan to start a tech support home business. Yay, Benny, that's awesome.
You're gonna hold on. My
Alright.
thing is about to reset. My thing is about to reset. It's doing its thing, and I can't make this countdown stop.
What does
I'll be
that
right back. I mean,
Okay,
it's gonna restart itself. I don't know why it does this. It'll restart, and I'll just join back in.
okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. She should be able to just get back in. I don't know if that's her Fathom that's running out or her Zoom account or what, but that is the best that I can guess. So anyway, that was the long story about the process of verifying Megan's advice. All right. I'm just not. Oh, look, show comments. Okay. Now, oh my goodness. I wonder, can I make the comments bigger? That's what I want to really, really, really do. No, you can't make the comments bigger. Okay. What do you guys think about this new post layout? Do you like it, or does it drive you all as crazy as it drives me? I think that we have a lot of new folks with us. We actually don't have a very large audience at all. I was really hoping that this time frame might be a good time frame, but it's also a weekend night, so I want to see what our schedule is normally, and hopefully we will be able to keep that next week at 4:15 p.m. on Tuesday. Oh gosh, that does make it awfully tightly packed. Okay, well, we will continue to strive to get an official time for this class because it is getting more and more challenging as the calendar fills up. And also, did you have something that you wanted to add, Miss Wendy? You've unmuted yourself.
Yes, I had a question. Is that okay? Can I ask a question?
Yes, I hope that Megan is able to get in. If you want to ask your question, and I will do my best to answer it, and then we will leave it in Megan's hand, whatever I am not able to answer. How does that sound?
Okay. I wanted to know, is it allowed for a nonprofit and a for-profit to be in the same building? So basically, in the building of such, so say me, I have a for-profit and say meal prep, and I have a garden, and I use that garden to make the food for the meal prep
Oh, that is so
business.
cool.
Huh?
That is so cool.
Right? That's what I'm planning to do.
Okay.
But then another hand, say like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the nonprofit, me donating food products, say like tomatoes or whatever, like we make spaghetti Tuesdays and Thursdays, say from 12 to 2. So workers, whoever comes, they can come and get free spaghetti to the community, spaghetti and meat sauce, or spaghetti and maybe vegan spaghetti or so. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, can my business donate that food to the nonprofit to make the food, as we're
I believe
also
that would be absolutely okay. We do want to just verify that with Megan.
okay,
It shouldn't be
as we're
anything.
also applying to grants to cover other expenses or other products needed.
Again, I don't think that would affect it. You would probably not want to register it under your physical address, just like we talked about during this. But again, that's something that we'll want to hopefully get a chance to run by Megan. If not, this is being recorded by both of our Fathoms. I think hers is still here. And so we will be able to get an answer for you into Lesko Help 2. Now, are you comfortable in Lesko Help 2, where if we're not able to put an answer up for you tonight, if she she lives in a very rural area, you guys, so her services are less than one could desire, right?
Yeah.
That's a big part of what goes on with Megan when her things don't work out the way she wants them to. She's also extraordinarily busy. She works with her county and I believe her city to get them grant-like opportunities. She's trying to get in some sort of shelter, I think, period, but one that would be a no-kill shelter and that could handle the abused animals that she's aware of in her county. She's trying to bring in real food into her grocery store. Like, there's so many places that she's doing all of these different efforts, as well as working with our own community, her own for-profit and nonprofit businesses. These are all new things that she started since I've known her, outside of her original for-profit and nonprofit businesses, because there's such a need in her area, surprisingly enough, in California. But there is a big bare patch in the upper to middle portion, and it is a little desolate still through some of that area, surprisingly, for people who don't know a lot about California. Kind of like New York, right? There's still some more country areas of New York, and people who don't know New York aren't aware of that. I was not aware of that. I'm a West Coast girl, but I had a very good friend who is from the Buffalo area of New York, and there are still apparently places that she considers country, at least.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I also wanted to know how to go about getting a building donated. I know one step one is to register EIN and going through the steps with business plan, but how to go about who to talk to first about it.
Really, your plan is where you need to start. They're not going to want to talk to you without, you can get an SBDC mentor, a SCORE mentor,
Okay.
Women's Business Center Association. They call them a little differently in each state, but every state has some sort of a nonprofit women's organization, and generally they offer free business counseling as well. So these are all different routes to start talking to someone in your area about all of these different things. And of course, we have grant-like resources to put you into that arena. However, I'm going to tell you that any of those applications are going to be asking for all of those pieces. So if you don't have those pieces, you need to start there and be aware of looking for those. Like, start, playing with it when you're daydreaming and just seeing what's out there. But the grant world changes so rapidly. It would just be, just when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, I can't do anything for real anymore, I just want to go play with the resources. It'll take you a moment to get all of that lined up, right? Just like it's taking me a moment to get that all lined up.
I do have the benefit of I am a client with Blind Services and vocational rehab, so I have that benefit. But you always still need a backup. I don't want to depend on them solely. Yeah.
You were kind of quiet when you were saying you do have. I couldn't hear the entities. The very first part.
I have a disability, so I am a client with Blind Services, and I opened up an account with vocational rehab. So
that's great.
That's a slow process, but I know that they will assist me. But I always still want backup. So
absolutely, yes, that's absolutely an angle that you get to view grant-like opportunities in. Then being disabled, also being a woman. And then from your picture, I'm guessing that you have African American ancestry. Is that correct?
Yes.
This is the moment for women in your shoes that want to own businesses and things to get out there and look for your demographic specifically before they disappear, right? It's a heavily funded area as far as business goes right now. African American female entrepreneurs, Black women entrepreneurs, play with the terms.
Okay.
And there is a lot, and we have that for you here in the Unlock Your Goals collection.
Okay.
In the they got reorganized in the last 48 hours. So it's down here, it's alphabetical now. And you want to jump all the way. You do want to do these first steps as well, especially getting a free business mentor. Okay. And so you have one through one angle. That's fabulous. I would still recommend doing an SBDC or a SCORE.
Yeah, I got that information down from Miss Amber. So Monday morning I will call SCORE.
Perfect. I really prefer the SBDC. They're generally able to work with you more often than
Okay.
SCORE. My experience with SCORE is that they meet with you about every 6 weeks. I have heard from one member that they were able to meet with her every other week, but they're a volunteer organization. They don't get paid for their time. So it's less likely that they're going to be able to meet with you on such a frequent basis.
I have to go back on it because I must have made a mistake, because what I get in my email is SBDC for Virginia, and I don't know if that, I
That's,
guess, yeah, that would be different. So I'm gonna,
no, that's the SBDC. That's the Small Business Development Center. As long as you started that and it's not fraudulent, right? We have to be very careful.
yeah, it's not fraudulent, but it keeps talking about how to open a business in Virginia. And I don't know if that's a difference in every state, I guess. So
You can actually work with, I found out recently, you can work with an SBDC in whatever state you want to do business
okay,
in.
okay,
So that, if that answers your question, that you would,
awesome. Okay, so I'll continue listening to their seminars because I'm always sent and schedule a seminar to listen to them. So okay, no problem. Thanks. I'm glad to hear that. Okay.
absolutely. And so then if you want to go into the second unit here, oops, I skipped it. You have both grants and support for minority and underserved entrepreneurs, which women fit that category. There definitely could be something in here for us. And as for an African American, definitely check out grants, loans, and resources for female entrepreneurs, right?
Okay. Okay.
And then there are options mentioned in the make an appointment with a free business mentor, I believe. Let me just check. This is one that is, yes. Okay, so is this where you got in touch with someone already? Is that what you were talking about?
With SCORE or SBDC?
No, when you were talking about in conjunction with your disability, I didn't know the V or I didn't know the specific.
Oh, it's called Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. So that's
okay, that's
yeah,
definitely one.
they help
That's
with
an excellent
businesses.
one,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yeah.
if you see here, it's individuals with disabilities, special nonprofit organizations offer tailored business support, National Disability Institute. So this is
Okay.
another route for you to check out for
Okay.
possible advice or resources, right?
Okay, awesome. Okay. And it's something I have to ask Ms. Amber on Monday about government contract, because it says if you're a Section 3 employer, I hope I'm saying it right. But it's like
I don't know. That's you.
if you're like, yeah.
Amber's stuff is like way, way different than anything I want to do, and it's really, really technical stuff. So I would never want to try to answer in regards to what she talks about.
Yeah, I have to definitely ask her on Monday.
I'm sorry about that.
No
Okay, and
problem.
so, Wendy, what is your last name, my dear? I don't know that I'll need it. That's a unique, and I really like your variation. Oh, look, we have several spelled that way. I'm always seen it as an E, but when?
Oh, it's I. Yeah, so it's LUCIUS. Oh, you got it? Okay.
Okay, and then so this is going to be the additional to the rehab, your vocational rehab. This is an additional resource for you here.
Okay, awesome.
Grab the link for it so that it creates a link preview. And also the female portion of that there.
Okay.
Megan, have you been able to join us again? Doesn't look like it, so she may not have been able to. Okay, now this is where it drives me crazy. See, I'm doing everything I can to move this comment down so that I could hit reply, but the only way that she's still updating, oh, she just answered. I'll answer her back in just 1 second. Let me get this. So what I have to do is I have to hit control, and then I have to scroll down with my scroll bar until I can see this comment thing, and then click comment. It's very frustrating. That's why I'm not a super big fan of this entire update. I hope they're working on correcting that. I'm sure other people have complained. I simply don't have time. I would like to tell them that it doesn't work.
Is that through the Mighty?
Yes.
Okay.
My mind wants to make it short and go BIZ, but we're still just waiting for Miss Megan, so we're really not in a super rush. So that's going to have the disabilitysmallbusiness.org and female entrepreneurship information for you.
Okay.
And then let me just grab how to bookmark or save your post.
And you said National Disability Association, right? NDA, I think it's called.
I'm going to put it in here.
Okay.
I don't want to speak out of turn. It's not my specialty, right?
Okay.
Okay, and so then how to bookmark or save this or any other posts that you want to get back to. We have almost constant activity in Let's Go Help too. So you want to always bookmark or save your interesting finds, your interesting posts, the answers that people give you.
Oh,
I have
okay.
answers that other people have asked, questions that you want to ask and haven't. Sometimes we see questions that we didn't even think to ask, but the answer is valuable to us, right?
Got it. Yes.
All right. Okay, let's do that. That gives you everything there. And then once it gets long enough, it provides this toolbar, but not until it's long enough within the commented text. And sometimes to make a comment, it's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm complaining. I should be quiet, but it's very frustrating when this is what you do all day, every day. Okay, now let's see here. As a nonprofit, the steps that we're working on are right here in this post.
Okay.
And so I can't tag you. So let me just grab it, and then you can look at this list anytime that you would like to, so that you or anyone else can follow these steps that we worked through tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so let me add that to your post, and then I can't just push a line at the bottom. I have to go back up to the top because that's not how it used to. Oh, it's so I am super not thrilled so far. Hopefully it will get better. And then exit out of here, and I will leave a post for everyone. I will notify everybody. This is going to have the steps that we are working. Okay.
Thank you, Sabrina. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And then let's see what's going on there. Okay, somebody muted and unmuted, sounds like, or something to that effect. Then the other thing that we talked about initially was the list yourself on 411. For those of you who have been with us from the beginning there, and this is that link here. Then we talked about the IRS information in regards to I don't think I can use my snipping tool. Let me just check, but I'm pretty sure while I'm in Zoom, it won't let me clip anything. Let's just try. Oh, it did. Hurrah. Okay. So the specific piece on this website that we are paying attention to is what I'm going to put in this comment instead of the link preview. And the link is there though, so that you guys can check that back to read it for yourselves and make your own determination, as I'm sure there will be many of you who will get the advice that you should get your EIN first. So I am not a tax expert. I cannot speak with authority on anything that comes off of irs.gov. That as I should say as an English language expert, that I can claim. I have documentation. That is my understanding of that particular phrasing on the IRS website. Take that or leave it for what that is worth. Definitely an interesting process to have gone through with my SBDC mentor. And I just can't tell you how grateful I am. That's what I said. that, he said no hard feelings. And I was so grateful he said something like that, because it's always a little hard to call an expert out on anything. It doesn't matter whether they're right or wrong. It can hurt feelings and they can get rather irrational. I too can be guilty of this. Absolutely. I think any of us can be expert or not. And he handled himself so professionally. I was so appreciative. And I just told him that I was so grateful that he would take the time to work through that with me, because I was going to be very uncomfortable having to disregard his advice, because I do respect his advice. And I would have had to go with Megan because I also respect her expertise alongside my own of the English language, not of nonprofits or even of businesses. Though I am somewhat of a business expert, it's not official the way the English language is, right? Again, it's not something I like to really talk about a whole lot, but I guess as I'm learning with Miss Julia May, which is another community that I take part in, I was lucky enough that Matthew hired Julia May to be the organizer of what we're doing as a group here in Lesko Help 2, the way she titles things, organizes it, the icons that she puts out, the colors that she makes work, these beautiful banners. Let me just, these are so glorious, you guys. I can't talk well enough about her. She is so tremendously valuable to our community, and I am so grateful for her mentorship. And so this is, let me see if it starts in the overall space. No, I don't think so. Okay, so we're going to go into Lesko's welcome message. Yeah, it's getting late, right? Lesko's welcome message. Look at how beautiful this is. I don't know how to do this yet. This is a brand new part of the update within Mighty Networks. This is a part I love. Look, she's even been able to use a different sort of font. I don't know if that's a picture or, oh, it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're going to let us start playing with fonts finally. Oh, big exciting stuff hopefully to come. And hopefully they will correct the problems within the posts and things, because this not just so beautiful. She does such amazing work, you guys. She will continue to do that slowly throughout the entire community. And so I learn from her all the time, and I mimic what I can in my own community. I'm also taking courses in her community and some things like that. Originally, she offered me the opportunity to join her community as a representative of Matthew Lesko's efforts here in Lesko Help 2. It didn't end up panning out. We're so busy, both of us, that I didn't end up making much entry into her community. However, as I continue to watch the amazing level of skill that she has in taking what Matthew Lesko has provided her over his years of literally 50 years now of expertise within that grant hunting world, and the pieces that I have to add that are things that you all as a community have provided over the years. And then she puts them together with these beautiful descriptions and these visually appealing pieces. It's just so amazing that I started trying to make more of an effort of getting into her community, and she's working on some things in her community. So in order to drive engagement in her community, to try to get it to the kind of level that we're blessed to have here in Lesko Help 2, I'm more directly working with her community, and then she's going to come in and spend an hour or two a week trying to help me follow her lead more like what she does here, right? I certainly could never engage her services to afford her to do the overhauls that she does here in Lesko Help 2. However, I can barter my time to get her mentorship more directly within my own community. And those are things that we should think of as outside of the box when we're trying to gain traction with our own businesses, nonprofits, even within that personal grant hunting world, when we're talking to people, when we're looking at how we could approach different goals that we have, challenges that we have, always working to think outside the box, to follow the letter of the law, if not maybe the spirit, as Matthew Lesko is so much better of explaining. He can really, in his videos, talk to you about how you can look at a certain grant or grant-like opportunity that doesn't exactly fit what you had thought of originally, and then reword your goal so that it will align with that grant or grant-like opportunity. And that's why it's always valuable to watch Matthew's videos. I don't care if they're 9 years old. The man is brilliant, and he is dedicated to what we do here in Lesko Help Too. His material, whether or not the same grant or grant-like opportunity he may be speaking of is still viable, his thought processes in approaching those grant and grant-like opportunities are so amazing, as well as he will really dedicatedly cover a certain source that's out there in the grant or grant-like world, and then he'll move on, and he may or may not ever talk about that specific resource again, but it's still out there as a viable resource. There is so much out there. No one person could probably ever cover it all. And so he's never going to spend too much time on one source unless it's a really big source, something like the SBDC or the PAN Foundation for medical, or needymeds.org for medical, or the NCSHA, I believe, the National Coalition for Safe Housing and something like that. I don't know. But these are things that he will talk about over and over. But there are a lot of sidelined grant and grant-like opportunities that he will really cover very well. And then, like I said, never cover it again. So definitely be willing to listen. When you go in to search a video of Matthew's, let's just go to Google really quickly and go to Matthew's channel. Okay. And, oh, there we go. Boom. Go into his channel, and we can just search anything. Like, people really, one of my favorites even is 250,000 for farmland, we'll say. See if that's one of them that comes up. Okay, here we go. $75,000 to $250,000 grant to start business in small town anywhere. So that's really close to my parameters, right? And that was 3 years ago. There's one for 50 for 2 months ago. You could go into the oldest one here, 11 years ago, and I can almost guarantee that you will learn something that you may never hear him talk about again. These are all worth your time if you're tremendously busy, as I am, and you can't simply sit and enjoy something. One of the things, see, this is 13 minutes. One of the things that I have to do in order to be able to, just 1 second so I can get all these things out of my way here. In order to be able to watch something like this, or one of the gardening areas that I'm watching, so that I can share it in my own community, I have to go into settings, and I go into playback speed, and I generally put it to at least 2, and there are some that allow you to put it up to as much as 3. Some things I do watch at 3, and it's a little bit rough. Not everyone can do it.
Changes going on in our world nowadays, and you can look at it as a pain in the butt because they just don't make that sense like they used to anymore.
But if that's too fast, there are slower times, right? You can go even slower, right? If you have trouble listening to Matthew, he goes too fast for you. You can go a little bit slower as well. So that's an option that you have when you're watching these videos. Also, YouTube, in the not too far distant future, introduced these transcripts, or the past, excuse me. And I like to sometimes pull up the transcripts, and I'll just quickly skim through until it comes to the topic that I really want to read about. And then I will either start listening or read through what I want and go work it, and maybe come back and get some additional information, go and work that, right? So those are some techniques that I use in my own world in order to be able to get as much out of my minutes as possible, right? And so let me just ask Megan where she's at with everything, if she hasn't gotten back to me after I said that we were still going. Okay. And yes, so that was pretty well petered out on that topic. I think I was really just been filling space. I don't think anybody had a question at this moment. Is that right? Just want to make sure that I wasn't trailing off into somewhere and there was a question I was supposed to be answering. You can minimize the comment section. Is that on a phone, Benny, on a computer or a laptop? On a laptop? I can minimize the whole thing. I can't just minimize the comments anywhere that I see. Is that what you mean? Minimize the whole screen or just the comment section? Just the comment section. Interesting. Yes, you know, device to device, it really does matter. And I don't know if that's what we're experiencing or I just haven't figured out how to do that yet. But yeah. All right, so Megan hasn't gotten back to me. I think I've pretty well carried this as far as I can. We will get together. I will call her as soon as we finish up here. And hold on, let's do this. Let's add this to the featured section here in teaching sessions for you guys. And I'll also leave that up so that I can maybe add it into the lesson as a whole in PDFs and replays. Now, let's go ahead and go into our calendars. Oh, I just can't get over it. I think that is just so beautiful. I just hope they get the post thing figured out. It's ridiculous. So, heading into our calendar, the next class will be Miss Michelle tomorrow at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 2 o'clock p.m. Mountain, 3 o'clock p.m. Central, and 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Hope you are all able to attend, and I will be with you. Oh, by the way, Megan is going to be busy this Sunday. I need to get in here and change this, but we need to figure out a day. She's going to try to postpone it, not just cancel it entirely. So we have to get together before I can change these dates. Look for a new time soon. And I will be back with you all at the new hours where we are going to remain on Monday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Mountain, 10:30 p.m. Central, and 11:30 p.m. Eastern. I hope you are all able to attend that as well as any of the other wonderful classes throughout the weekend. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Please feel free to unmute yourselves and say goodnight, everyone. Okay, I understand. It's just me in the solitude. I love you guys.
Night, good night. Thank you.
Thank you, it's so wonderful seeing you. Thank you for joining. And thank you, Wendy, for your question. Thank you guys all. Bye,
Have a
guys.
good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, Danielle. Thank you. You too.